Next tonight, it's not every day that you see three royals passing by on a canal barge, but that's exactly the scene that greeted Burnley residents today. The Queen, Prince Philip and Prince Charles were all in Lancashire as part of their grand Jubilee tour.
Now, Charles took the chance to show his mother his special regeneration project before moving on to Burnley Football Club and then on to Accrington. Kate Sims joins us in Accrington Market now. Kate, it has been a wonderful day. We've seen some fantastic images.
It really has, Diane, and even though she left about 2 or 3 hours ago, there's still a bit of a party atmosphere here in Accrington, and I think there will be for quite some time. And why wouldn't there be? She hasn't actually been to Accrington since 1955. We'll be chatting to the guys here about what they thought of the whole day in a moment. But first of all, let's look at Peter Marshall's report, because he's been following the Queen around Lancashire all day.
Quite some cargo for a modest little canal barge. Her Majesty the Queen, Princes Philip and Charles. A sight that didn't disappoint those watching.
It was brilliant. We've never seen it before. You should come all this way just to see us. I know we're like the luckiest children in the world.
The royal party had boarded the barge earlier for a trip into the Weavers' Triangle, once the heart of the world's cotton cloth trade. For Prince Charles, these are well-known waters, his 5th visit in 7 years. He's played a key role in promoting investment here. And his mother, too, spoke warmly of the place.
I'm delighted to be in Burnley, the start of this Jubilee tour of the northwest of England. Over the next 2 days, Prince Philip and I look forward to seeing much of the hospitality and the dynamism for which this part of England is rightly renowned.
Today's trip wasn't all history and heritage. The royal party visited the University of Central Lancashire campus there to see how it's preparing youngsters for the future. Among today's crowds, familiar faces.
We love you, Grandma and Grandad, even the last time in Burnley.
In the afternoon, it was on to Accrington. The one thing today's visit has proved is that public affection for Her Majesty the Queen hasn't waned at all. Crowds are out in force to help her celebrate her Diamond Jubilee. First stop, the Market Hall. Inside, Her Majesty spoke with traders and dignitaries before delighting the crowds with a walkabout. There was music and marching, all watched from the town hall balcony by a delighted royal couple. Then it was all over, but the memories will last a lifetime. Peter Marshall, BBC North West Tonight, Accrington.
I tell you what, Accrington looks fabulous today. There's bunting everywhere. Every single shop window is full of Jubilee decorations, and it's just like that here in the Market Hall. Now, Ian Smith, from the chairman of the Market Traders Association, you had the job of showing her around, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And what was she like? Were you a bit awestruck?
I was a bit awestruck, yeah, but she was very nice. Once I got to meet her, once I was presented to her, she was lovely, put me all at ease.
And what did she chat to you about?
Just how long the market hall had been built, and she wanted to know the market traders that she was meeting, so I just walked around and introduced her as we went around.
Now, Ian's just told me, reliable, she was wearing peppermint green. What do the ladies make of her outfit? Did she look wonderful?
She looked lovely, yes, and she was really, really nice.
She's a lovely lady.
Yes, she is.
Thanks, Sue. Now, come over here. These two girls, I think, would rival the Queen for gorgeous dresses today. This is Olivia and Rachel, and they got to present the Queen with a posy. Girls, what was it like meeting her?
It was amazing.
What did she say to you?
She said, "Are these my flowers?" And that's really it, what she really said.
What did she say to you?
She said the same thing.
And you did get to give her a curtsy. Can you just demonstrate your curtsy for us now? Beautiful. I would have loved that gig. Anyway, we'll be coming back to the market in a little while to hear a bit more about what's been going on today. For now, though, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Kate. What an honour to show the Queen.
They stole the show, those girls, didn't they?
Really lovely. We will go back to Kate a little bit later. We'll hear a little bit more about that royal visit to Burnley Football Club and the royal connection there. Yep. Lunchtime, he was at Turf Moor as the Queen came to lunch.
Yeah, the Queen's visit came as no surprise to Burnley fans. The club's regal connections stretch back to the 19th century all the way through to this year, when Prince Charles proudly unveiled himself as a Claret supporter. So you can't keep a good man down. Tony, I'm talking about. Here he is again.
She's been to Wembley more times than Manchester United, but today the Queen made a rather more personal pilgrimage to her son's favourite football club. Luckily for the royal couple, bearing in mind Burnley's home form, the players are on holiday. Instead, thousands joined her to watch local school children put on a match-winning performance. Then she took lunch with Mr. and Lady Chairman.
Today will just be up there with one of the best memories ever been at Turf Moor, as of Wembley and other things. It's tremendous, you know, that Tom's here, our son, family, friends, and it really has been a terrific day for everybody.
Okay. And did they invite you back down there at any point?
Well, I am going. She was telling me how that she's afraid of the noise at the concert they're having outside the Buckingham Palace when it comes. But as yet, I've not got me invite. No.
BFC have a proud royal lineage. In 1886, Prince Albert Victor, son of the future King Edward VII, watched the Clarets play Bolton, the first royal visit to a football ground. In 1914, Burnley beat Liverpool to win the FA Cup. The Queen's granddad, King George V, was the first reigning monarch to present the trophy. And in February, his great-grandson gave the club his seal of approval. Well, they can't quite match this royal balcony, but they have offered him a golden season ticket whenever he fancies a match and a complimentary meat and potato pie. Hello! Hello! So the family connection is complete. Normally, it's the players who are fated here, but today, the royal we are the champions.
I think he was using the royal we about himself there, waving at all his fans in the stand.
Do you know what? Even on a royal visit, you can't get him to put a tie on, can you?
But if anyone needs a spare ticket at Burnley next season, who knows? If Charles can't make all the games.
We'll see. Now, after lunch at Turf Moor, the royal party moved on to Accrington, where things are starting to return to normal tonight. Let's go back to Kate Sims, because it has been a day that the locals will never forget.
It really has, and this is the region. This is the £2 million refurbishment of this Victorian market hall. It looks great, you can really see it from here. And this shield here, this coat of arms of Accrington, is at the centre of this refurbishment. The man who invited the Queen to unveil this early on was former Olympian Ron Hill. Ron, what did she say to you, the Queen?
Well, we just talked about a marathon that I ran 50 years ago, my second ever marathon, started by the Queen in the grounds of Windsor Castle, and I actually won it. And she remembered as soon as I mentioned Windsor Castle that I'd raced there.
And she knew who you were, presumably?
I think she'd been briefed anyway. So.
I'm sure she did anyway, because you are now a freeman of the borough of Accrington as well. It's a good year for you, isn't it, Ron? What does that mean?
I've no idea, but it will be in July where I'm made the freeman, and I'll find out whether I can drive my sheep over Hindborough Bridge or whatever.
Maybe you could take them to Warwick Castle.
Well, it's a long way, isn't it?
The other thing that Ron gets, I'll just point out this wonderful poster here in the market hall, which kind of dominates the back. So you must be delighted about that.
Absolutely amazed, to be honest with you, yeah.
Before we go, I must just show you these wonderfully dressed little children here. Kyle here is in a three-piece suit. And give us a little twirl, Ellie. Can you show me your outfit? Oh, and give us a wave, children. As you can see, very excited here still. The Queen's still in the northwest tomorrow. She's in Chester Zoo with the Duke of Edinburgh, meeting elephants and rhinos. Then she's later going to Warrington, to Orford Jubilee Park, and then to Albert Dock. I should tell you as well, you can see more about the royal families linked to the northwest in a special Inside Out programme this Saturday. It's called The Queen and I, 60 Years in the Northwest. That's 4:20, BBC One this Saturday. Back to you.
Kate, thanks very much indeed. The children are always the stars of the show, aren't they?
Little kid in a three-piece suit, you cannot not love that.
And the Queen has started a new fashion trend. Green is this season's colour.
Yes, I asked you what colour she was wearing and you said same colour as you. Only a man could think mint green was the same colour as this green.
Sorry.
A great source of pride. That was how the Queen described Prince Charles today. She was touring an area of Burnley that's been revived with the help from the Prince's Trust. The visit to East Lancashire was part of the Diamond Jubilee tour. Our royal correspondent, Nicholas Witchell's report, does contain some flash photography.
She is said to find him a little puzzling at times. He is said to feel that there might have been a little more parental appreciation over the years. There's little doubt for whom the crowds are turning out in this Jubilee year, for a monarch who's reigned for 60 years. And today the Queen gave perhaps her warmest public endorsement of the charitable work of the Prince of Wales. The setting, a derelict building in Burnley, once a hub of the cotton industry, where today the Queen heard about the regeneration work by the Prince's charities and expressed her admiration to him.
And so it is a great source of pride to see your work bearing fruit, the result of your determination to make changes for the better in a wide range of areas across the country and further afield, is an ongoing legacy which is present for all to see.
Comments like that aren't unknown, but they are pretty unusual. A tribute to a son whose commitment to a range of issues is considerable.
All of this is tangible evidence of the difference that the Prince's charities have made, and that difference now has the warm endorsement of his mother.
Mummy.
Over the years, the relationship hasn't always been the easiest of ones, complicated by the dual private and public roles that they have.
Coupled with your majesty, I really am enormous.
The royal family are greeted on their arrival.
But a lifetime in the public eye, from a sometimes rather lost little boy with a busy mother, to the personal issues of midlife and all the accompanying pain, now seem to have settled into what is later life for both of them. Mother and son, monarch and heir, both perhaps more content in this Jubilee year. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News in Burnley.